of that game, came back to win decisively. And back on their home floor tonight, first ever meeting between UCF and Oakland, and the Golden Grizzlies control the tip. Oakland coming off their first win of the season. They beat Defiance College, an NAIA program, 113-47. Before that, losses to Michigan, Purdue, and Houston. They played #1 teams in back-to-back games, and they opened the scoring with Zaire Wells.
Transfer from Lenore-Rhine, Division II, where he averaged 16 a game. Coach Campy thinks he can be a stud in Horizon League play.
Burks unable to pick up where he left off on Friday night. Offensive rebound, JaMychal Stillwell. And Oakland comes out of there with it.
Coach Campy very familiar with JaMychal Stillwell's game, having played in Milwaukee's in the Horizon League.
Stillwell and Themis Folks, the UCF point guard, they played in the same conference as Oakland a year ago. UCF wants to push the tempo at every opportunity. Folks drops the dime to John Bull.
And that's exactly what the UCF coaching staff wants John Bull to do. And just be ready, sprint hard, hands ready, because Themis Folks will find you in transition.
Bull's been efficient offensively, 4 of 5 from the field in each of the last 2 games. Neva-Larua gets into the paint. A jump hook off the back rim. Neva-Larua, the preseason player of the year in the Horizon League. Guy who averaged almost 14 a game a season ago. Folks turns down the screen, gets into the lane, all the way to the cup, an uncontested deuce.
Brody Robinson needs to do a much better job of controlling the dribble penetration. That's the way that Folks wants to play.
Robinson, little change of pace, up and over Bull. Rebound and stick back for Isaac Garrett. That's Oakland's leading scorer at over 15 a game.
Isaac Garrett is going to be unafraid. He dropped 20 against Houston and that #1 defense in the country.
Stillwell, hard spin at the elbow. Ends up with a little mid-range push shot. Assist from Riley Kugel.
And one thing that was really impressive in UCF's win against Texas A&M is they had 23 assists on 28 made field goals. The ball movement and the unselfishness was elite on the road.
Especially impressive for a team that is entirely new from the UCF roster that they put on the floor a season ago. Around and out for Nassim Mashour. UCF's made 3 in a row, efficient offensively so far. Folks unable to convert, and here comes Wells. Right into Kugel. Kugel got a piece of it, altered the shot. Folks takes it up against Garrett and draws a foul.
One of the great things about Themis Folks' game is that he's fearless in transition. There is no stopping that freight train. And it doesn't get talked about enough of how strong he is. Even though he's a guard, 6'2", does a great job of absorbing contact.
There's Greg Campy, 42nd season at Oakland, the longest tenured coach in Division I, more than 700 wins. Guy who is well-respected, popular among his peers all around the country.
Really enjoyed talking with Coach Campy after shoot-around this morning. It was my first time meeting him and calling an Oakland game, and you know, he's known for just having really one of the coolest personalities in college basketball, and certainly lived up to the hype. He's such a great storyteller, and was great to you and I, sharing stories about his team and his past and his players. And very few coaches in college basketball, I think, loved the game more than Greg Campy.
He was in the spotlight in the 2024 NCAA tournament when Oakland beat Kentucky in the first round. Lost in overtime in the round of 31 play. Wells deflects the pass out of bounds. That'll take us to a timeout. UCF and Oakland, first ever meeting. Knights with an early 3-point lead.
6'8" player that can pass as well as Isaac Garrett. He said, and I played against Magic Johnson. That's quite a comp.
Said I played against a guy who was 6'8" could pass. Never coached against one though. Stillwell with a bucket out of the timeout. Pushes the UCF lead to 5. Garrett's a first-year Division I player. He was at Snow College last year. Right out of the gate, Oakland plays Michigan, and he puts up 20 in his very first Division I game. Battling with Jeremy Fumena for that rebound, and UCF comes away with it. Carmelo Pacheco on the floor for UCF as Wells rejects that shot attempt.
This was an opportunity for Themis Folks to play off of 2 feet there. Pump fake, jump off 2 feet, send 2 defenders flying, and you actually had Fumena wide open. It's small learning moments, but he's starting to figure out the right pace to play with. Remember, it's a big step up in competition of constantly playing against the Big 12.
Riley Kugel just long. What are the advantages of playing off 2 feet for a point guard in that situation?
You control the defense way more. You control your balance and you control the defender. You can pump fake and the defender thinks he's coming over for a shot. If you play off of 2 feet, you're under control. You're not waiting for the blocker to get there. You're just really, really good at that. And it's a player that, if you watch Con Knipple play, the athleticism will eventually even out when you play off of 2 feet like that.
Fumena called for the offensive foul as Isaac Garrett takes the charge. Knipple, of course, played at Duke a season ago, now in the NBA.
Garrett does have his feet set, takes it in his chest, and not only is he taking it in the chest, but he keeps his hands up, straight up. Right? He doesn't break that plane of verticality. And, more importantly, you're above the restricted circle.
UCF coming with pressure, and Coy Thurman immediately in. Lucky to get out of there for Oakland, and they don't make it across the midcourt line before 10 seconds come off the shot clock. So a backcourt violation committed by Greg Campy's club.
Coach Campy was really upset with his freshman Warren Marshall, who had the opportunity to just bring it up and cross the half-court line, but that's that internal clock in your head that you have to have when you're facing full court pressure.
Oakland's done a good job of taking care of the ball so far. Just 11 turnovers. And again, those numbers coming against 3 top 10 teams. And twice they played the #1 team in the country. Played against Purdue when they were #1, and then the next week they were at Houston when the Cougars ascended to the top spot.
Nice pass. What a pass.
Fumena on the backside of that zone, and that foul's going to be on Garrett. It's his second.
That was an awesome semi-lob pass from Chris Johnson, number 22 for UCF. He looks off the defense just briefly, and that little flip. When you're playing 1-3-1, if you've got a bigger post and you get the defense shifted twice, which UCF did on that possession, that lob will be there if you sit in that dunker position, right in between that block and short corner.
So Garrett with that big cheering section will have to sit with the 2 fouls as Fumena converts the first of 2 free throws.
Big minutes for Neva LaRua now. So important when Garrett's out. He has to be the anchor of the defense and the anchor of the offense for Oakland.
Brody Robinson, the point guard, also off the floor. Thurman at the point. Oakland nearly 4 minutes without scoring. Wells sizing up Kugel. Cambridge pulls it down. Devin Cambridge seeing his first action for UCF. Carmelo Pacheco open 3. He has been red hot. 10 of 12 from 3 in the last 2 games for Pacheco. Misses his first shot attempt tonight.
And the Oakland coaching staff is furious because that is the last player on the floor for UCF that you can leave open. You got 2 shooters on the floor right now for UCF, Riley Kugel and Carmelo Pacheco. And oh my word, what a block from Devin Cambridge.
Looked like Nate Deere was going to have an easy layup after some confusion. Cambridge came back to deny it.
That's the second time that Deere has outrun Fumena on the floor, though. He just did it again.
Deere likely with some extended first half minutes because of the foul trouble for Garrett. Deere's got it on the block. And a pass deflected out of bounds by Chris Johnson.
Look at this rundown by Cambridge. Times it up perfectly, and he has to use his left arm there. If he goes up with his right arm, he'll go across the body of Deere, and that foul will be called. But he times it up with the left. My goodness, it doesn't get any better than that. Woo.
6th-year player, transfer from Texas Tech. Shows his defensive prowess. Clean look at a 3 from Brett White on the wing, and he buries it. That stops a scoring drought of nearly 5 minutes for Oakland. Deflection by Wells meant Pacheco didn't have an open look in the corner. Shot clock at 5. Baseline jumper is a little short from Stillwell.
I actually think Pacheco and Johnson turned down open looks from 3. That's one of the rare times being a little bit too unselfish where it can actually hurt you.
UCF, second best 3-point shooting team in the country coming into the game tonight. They are 0 for 3 in this first half. Another clean look from White. Back-to-back triples for the 27-year-old. And we're even at 10.
Just a 27% 3-point shooter, but White with back-to-back 3 balls. This Oakland team is unafraid. They have played literally the best competition in the country.
UCF very hesitant against the Oakland zone the last several.
Every year, and he was an incredibly kind man and just absolutely loved college sports, and a devastating loss for everybody.
25 years Sullivan dedicated his life to college athletics. Thoughts and prayers with his family and everyone at the American Athletic Conference. Foul against Oakland will put Jordan Burks at the free throw line. Burks coming off that terrific game Friday night. Career high 21 points against Texas A&M. 5 of 7 from 3, hit all 4 of his 3-point attempts in the second half.
He's been a perfect addition for this UCF team. He's averaging almost 14 points a game, but also getting 5 boards. And his defense, the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, are the things that Coach Dawkins cares about the most. He is consistently the most vocal player in pregame shoot-around, especially when it comes to understanding and holding players accountable, teammates accountable in the scouting report.
And said Coach Dawkins has talked to him recently about being more vocal, embracing a leadership role, even though he's not a captain. Late shot clock. Drive falls off for Thurman. Folks got into the lane. Pops out and rebounded by Mashore. UCF now 1 of its last 10 from the field. Knights come in averaging nearly 90 points per game. Right now sitting on 12, nearly midway through this first half.
And Stillwell just blew up that elevator screen action. That was awesome defense.
Late clock, Mashore off the back rim, and Burks tracks it down. Burks at 6'9", incredibly long arms. He can do a little bit of everything, including shoot the 3. That one rims out. Beal with a baseline jumper. That too will not fall.
You have an opportunity to reload a possession and you take a fadeaway jumper along the baseline. That's certainly a shot that UCF coaching staff would like to get back.
Knights unable to generate a lot of opportunities in transition. There's one from JaMychal Stillwell. Just his second 3 of the year.
First made 3 of the game for UCF. And the reason why we're saying that is because UCF has been shooting at an elite level this season from 3. It's a good look from 3 from Stillwell, who, when he's wide open, he will shoot that. He's not historically a good 3-point shooter. UCF is shooting 52% as a team from the 3-point line. That's second best in the country. They're top 50 in the nation in adjusted offensive efficiency per KenPom. And they are distributing the ball at a very high level as well. 19.8 assists per game. Top 40 in the country.
Riley Kugel and Carmelo Pacheco, you see among the top 12 percentage-wise nationally. As a team, coming into tonight, UCF was shooting a higher percentage from 3 than they were from 2 this season.
And it's interesting, I think a lot of that has to do with their tempo. And because they're playing fast, there's so much panic by the defense to protect the rim first. And then you got shooters that can fan out on the perimeter. Folks and company are doing a nice job of distributing and finding shooters.
Oakland has brought back Isaac Garrett with the 2 fouls. They'll have to be careful. White curling. That's his 3rd 3 of the first half.
He's hot.
Brett White, mentioned he's 27 years old, second oldest player in Division I, started his college eligibility 4 years after he finished high school. White, a 5th-year player who transferred in from Rochester Christian. Brody Robinson's pass deflected. It will stay with Oakland.
I mean, that's just a very simple action of where that post entry acts as a passing hub, and then Garrett sets a nice screen, but not an easy shot to make, fading away on that wing. Tough from White.
Garrett one-on-one with Stillwell. To the jump hook, pulled down by Chris Parker. Burks will try a 3. UCF 1 of 7 from 3-point range in this first half. Robinson, little rhythm dribble, and he buries it. Shooting just 29% coming in, but a career 40% shooter.
Yeah, he can absolutely shoot the 3 ball at a high level. So it makes him a very dangerous scoring point guard for Oakland. Good cut by Kugel.
Fouled from behind. Kugel will head to the line with a chance to reach 1,000 career points on the other side of the break. Team starting to get in a rhythm from distance. Brett White for Oakland, and then Brody Robinson.
And he's catching all of these in rhythm, and not known as a big-time 3-point shooter this season. Just 27% from 3, but he's hit 3 in rhythm, coming off screens, catch and shoot. He's got it going pure right now, and 4 for 8 from 3. Oakland, that's how you stay in a ball game on the road. You got to shoot the 3 well, and then at the same time, you also have to hope that the home team, there's something that doesn't quite go their favor, and what's happening right now is UCF just 1 for 6 from the 3-point line.
Riley Kugel hits the first of 2 free throws. One more would give him 1,000 points for his career, and he knocks it down. Well, congratulations to Riley Kugel. He reaches 1,000 points for his career. Senior from Orlando, played his first 2 seasons at Florida, last year at Mississippi State. Garrett unable to catch the pass from White. Folks nearly lost the handle. Chris Parker comes out of the scrum with it. Parker, bounce pass to Bowl, nice catch and finish from the 7-2 sophomore center.
That's the second nice catch and finish from John Bowl. Last game and a half here, Bowl's been giving UCF really good minutes.
White feeling it from the corner. Fourth first half three for Brett White.
The dude is just on fire right now. Every time it feels like UCF gives Oakland a punch, Oakland punches right back.
White hit 4 threes last time out, but that was against NAIA squad Defiance College. Much better competition tonight, and he is red hot. Robinson doing a lot of dribbling in traffic, had it poked away. Parker off the feed from Burks.
Those are back-to-back elite plays from Jordan Burks, high IQ plays.
Naval Arua attacking Bowl.
Excuse me.
Went for the slam. Ball didn't hit the rim. Another opportunity in transition. And it'll be a blocking foul against Mashore.
Yep, a little bit late on the blocking foul, moving and late. I think overall, in the last 2 years specifically, referees in college basketball have been really, really good at identifying the block charge. It's so much better than it's ever been because of the rule changes and what they're looking for in the offensive player, what they're looking for in the feet from a defensive player. You can't undercut players anymore, and it's forced teams to adjust defensively as well. It's not a given if you're there quickly that you're going to get the charge anymore. So teams are second guessing and playing a different style of defense because of it.
You mentioned rule changes. How much does the advent of that arc, the restricted area, make it clearer for officials when they're looking at the call?
That's always helped. I don't think that the issue has been primarily the restricted circle. The issue has been players getting there late and undercutting offensive players and getting there late where you get your feet set, but you're also now the offensive players in the air. And in years past, that was called as a charge, but now you got to be there well before, and that is an absolute dime and a half from Brody Robinson.
Wow. Great execution there to get Garrett the layup. Parker got hit by Naval Arua.
Here's Brody Robinson. It's Spain action. All Spain action is your typical pick and roll, but then Garrett, the roll man, receives a back screen as well. Nicely executed by Oakland. You know about Spain action?
I do from listening to you.
Oh, you're welcome. More than the country.
Oakland 6 assists on their 8 made field goals. One more free throw from Chris Parker, coming off his best game of the season at 9 points in 16 minutes. Ends up with the offensive rebound off the missed free throw, and it'll stay with the Knights with 17 on the shot clock.
A couple really clutch buckets on the road for Chris Parker in that win versus Texas A&M.
Playing time has increased in every game this season for Parker. 16 minutes last time out. Folks drops it off for Parker. Easiest 2 of the season for the transfer from Villanova. At the other end, Garrett got Bowl up in the air. And foul will send Isaac Garrett to the line.
UCF foul 7 on Bowl. 13 Isaac Garrett.
Two free throws for Garrett. Oakland 1-3 on the season. Mentioned played back-to-back #1 teams. Opened the season at Michigan. So 3 top 10 opponents so far. They were tied with Purdue at the half. So this is certainly a team that is capable of hanging in there. And Greg Campy told us earlier today, they struggled in transition against Michigan. He felt like the slower the game was played, the more to their advantage it was. And we've seen UCF try to increase the pace and have success playing a little bit faster. Riley Kugel knocks down a 3 and then gets whistled for a technical foul.
Riley Kugel is still talking right now. Coach Dawkins is livid with his star guard, because he went right to the bench and said something. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct technical foul every single time.
Kugel releasing some frustration. It costs him a foul. Oakland gets 2 at the line from Brody Robinson. And Kugel's going to head to the bench.
Riley Kugel just got another warning on the bench from a referee, who Kugel continued then to talk to the referee. I think you need to, it's time for Kugel to cool down on the bench, gather yourself and your thoughts, because you're close to getting a second tech.
That time Oakland no problem with the pressure. Mashore finds Garrett for the dunk.
Just like that, Garrett has 8 points in the first half. Just quietly finds ways to score.
Teams combined now have made 9 of their last 10 shots as Folks turns it over.
There are some frustrating emotions on the UCF side right now that I believe needs to get addressed at halftime, and it absolutely can get addressed at halftime. But then you have that time Jordan Burks and Themis Folks trying to talk through a miscommunication. This is where Burks is really good. In the open floor, one-on-one, defensively.
Boy, Thurman back out there at the point for Oakland, 21 in black. And another 3 goes down for Brett White. And Oakland was just whistled for a technical foul. I believe that's on Garrett, which is going to be his 3rd personal foul.
Wow. Campy can't believe it, talking to his star forward right now. And the UCF bench was up quick, hoping for a technical foul call on Garrett.
So Garrett now has 3 fouls in the first half. That's Oakland's leading scorer.
That's a tough 3 from White, who is on fire. And then Garrett looks over and says something to the bench. You can see the coaching staff and the players, they get up right away and look at the ref and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's got to be one for us now.
So each team has picked up a technical foul after hitting a 3. Kugel for UCF, Garrett for Oakland, but the Oakland technical far more damaging because it's Garrett's 3rd personal foul.
Huge, huge foul for Oakland.
Folks finds Burks. White went up and rejected that shot. Burks stays with it. Man, scores off the glass.
How about the handle? And Jordan Burks just got teed up.
Well, there was no doubt that was coming the way Burks reacted, right in the face of an Oakland player. And he is very upset, doesn't think he deserved it.
This is a good job by 3 UCF players. These 2 in particular of calming Burks down right now. Folks and Parker did a really good job of grabbing him, calming Burks down, and taking him away from the ref.
And it's hard for guys to control their the emotions of their teammates when they've been together for a long time. This UCF team, these are 13 new players, guys that haven't known each other for that long. It's even more difficult to try to settle someone down when you don't have a long-standing relationship with them.
And especially Chris Parker, who's just a sophomore. You expect that from Themis Folks, a senior, who's also the captain, who did a great job in that scenario, but that's a good job of Chris Parker of calming Burks down.
Robinson hit one of the 2 free throws, so it's a 5-point game. Back cut by White underneath Neva Larua. He is fouled, and that'll take us to a timeout. 3 combined technical fouls in this last stretch. A little chippy here in Orlando. Three technical fouls called, the most recent one on Jordan Burks.
Yeah, and even though, so to me, nothing was said there. That tech would not have been called if there wasn't 2 previous unsportsmanlike technical fouls called. I really believe that, and that's part of the flow of how referees will call the game when they feel there's too much unsportsmanlike action happening on the court. If Jordan Burks would have done that in the first 5 minutes of the game, I do not believe a technical foul would have been called. But the fact that Riley Kugel was the first technical foul that looked at the Oakland bench, said something to the Oakland bench, and then Garrett, about 2 minutes later, then did the exact same thing to the UCF bench. Unsportsmanlike conduct leads to anything that could be close. The referees are going to call it. That's just part of the game. That's the game within the game that you have to feel as a player. Nice backdoor cut and pass.
White rejected the shot. Cambridge gets it back on the baseline. Pacheco, quick release. And Cambridge whistled for a loose ball foul. That'll be free throws at the other end of the floor for Oakland. Were you noticing during the course of the game a lot of chatter between players leading up to those moments?
No, I didn't see anything specific that would warrant any type of, oh, hey, we're on the way to a technical foul. Everything changed when Riley Kugel got the tech talking to the Oakland bench. Now, there's a really good chance, playing in these kinds of games, that the Oakland bench could have said something first to Kugel, who then turned around and responded. And the thing that you hear from a referee standpoint is just Kugel. I've seen that happen plenty of times. I would never get a technical foul.
You're
Upstanding individual.
Humble man of integrity.
Yes. I just never talk, period.
2-point game. Riley Kugel back in, Jordan Burks back in for UCF. Burks was still visibly upset coming back from that timeout. We'll see if he's able to handle his emotions. Near travel there from Zaire Wells. He shot off the back of the rim.
I'm a little surprised that wasn't called a travel. Good call by you, Austin. Tough in and out from Pacheco.
Stillwell whips it to the wing. One more. Pacheco 0 for 3 tonight. Burks gives UCF another chance. A teardrop in the lane. Good touch from Jordan Burks.
That's a fool's gold defensive possession, though, for Oakland, because that easily could have been 3 points. Pacheco was wide open in the corner.
Mashur fading away. Just crawled over the front rim and falls in.
That's a good example, Austin, of playing off of 2 feet. Being patient and using your strength and size as an advantage.
First field goal for Mashur. Oakland being led right now by Brett White, who has 16 first half points, and finally Pacheco knocks one down, and he looks at his hands after making it as if to say, finally.
It was only a matter of time. He's too elite of a three-point shooter to go 0 for 5 from 3.
65% through the first 4 games from three-point range, 1 of 5 tonight. A deep one there from Mashur is off the back rim. And UCF a chance to add to a 5-point lead. Stillwell.
it almost feels like Oakland is baiting Stillwell to shoot that baby, you know, one-handed floater within 7 feet. Greg Campy certainly has experience playing against Stillwell on the horizon.
Stillwell transferred from Milwaukee. Played against Greg Campy twice last season. Pacheco just a little shove in the back of Brody Robinson. And that will mean free throws at the other end for Oakland. So 1-1 for Brody Robinson. Upcoming matchups in the NCAA men's and women's soccer tournament. UCF fresh off a terrific run through the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Knights won the tournament title as a 5 seed. And they'll play at home in the first round of the NCAA tournament against Florida Atlantic. Game Thursday on ESPN Plus at 7 o'clock. And 30 minutes before that game kicks off, UCF women on the road to face 2nd seed Duke. Both UCF soccer teams taking the field in the NCAA tournament on Thursday. An exciting and improbable run for the men's soccer team. Beat Marshall to win the tournament title on Marshall's home field. 2 misses in close. Stillwell stays with it, and he'll have a chance for 3.
That is the ultimate Jamichael Stillwell possession. Fight, battle, fight. That's what he does so well every time he steps onto the court. Offensive rebound. He was one of the best offensive rebounds in the country last season. Stay with the play. Stay with it. Tough, strong finish from Stillwell. 7 rebounds already in the first half.
And 11, now 12 first half points to lead UCF in scoring. Well, 2 unlikely leading scorers in this first half. Jamichael Stillwell for UCF and Brett White for Oakland. White has 5 threes and 16 points. Neva Larua fortunate to retain possession. Warren Marshall gets to that left hand and finishes. And UCF will call a timeout with 21.5 seconds remaining.
These types of possessions are really interesting to follow because now you've got your 2 primary ball handlers on the floor for UCF. 21.5 seconds left, 4-point game. You know, you need to feel good about yourself going into halftime. You're up 4, but obviously Coach Dawkins would like to be up a lot more. When you got folks at the point, a lot of times they'll have everybody spread out, and then they'll do a sprint ball screen for folks to get downhill. And that may sound very simple, very obvious, but when you got Riley Kugel on one wing, Carmelo Pacheco on the other wing, you have literally 2 of the top 20 3-point shooters in the country for spacing purposes. The issue with that is that Oakland likes to play that 1-3-1 zone. And so can you run ball screen action and still have those guys open on the wing?
You've got 6'6" Warren Marshall out there at the top of the zone. Folks with 2 defenders, finds Pacheco. Kugel, sidestep, lets it go at the buzzer, and it's short to take us to halftime. Slow start offensively, both offensively, because it was his 3rd personal foul. So he spent the rest of the half on the bench and has to be careful here starting the final 20 minutes with those 3 fouls.
And I would go right at Garrett here. And that's why he's also on the wing in this 1-3-1 zone now as well.
Garrett, Oakland's leading scorer, coming in at 15 points per game. Rebounds the miss by Jamichael Stillwell. Stillwell, excellent first half for UCF. He has 12 to lead the Knights in scoring. UCF is led by as many as 9. That was 32-23. And the Knights, second best 3-point shooting team in the country coming into the game tonight. Just 3 for 13 in that first half, as Oakland executes a nice set with a bucket for Buru Neva Larua.
A good rip screen along the baseline there. They went right at John Bull.
Kugel long on the 3. Stillwell pulls it down. His 8th rebound.
He's just everywhere. He is so tough and has such a great nose for the ball.
Garrett working against Bowl. And a foul against the UCF center.
Stillwell already has 5 offensive rebounds. And there's 18:52 left in the second half.
Stillwell, a guy who averaged a double-double a year ago at Milwaukee. Navalorua fading away on Bowl. And Stillwell with another board.
Safe to say that Jermichael Stillwell is easily on his way to a double-double tonight.
Brody Robinson on him, shovels it underneath the Bowl. Navalorua pushing Bowl in the back. Folks mid-range pull-up on the baseline. Good touch from Themis Folks, his second field goal.
They just do that little get action along the baseline. Folks throws it and goes to get it right back.
Navalorua unable to finish in transition. Stillwell mid-post area. A little push shot there. Had a size advantage on Brody Robinson. And Stillwell having his best game in a UCF uniform.
16 and 10 for Stillwell.
Mashore into the lane.
Guess
Stillwell
who? Guess who?
collects his 11th rebound. He is everywhere. Burks wide open three in the corner. He cans it.
Game. 16 points, 11 rebounds. 5 of those 11 rebounds are on the offensive side of the floor and doing a nice job of distributing the basketball as well. Big time performance from the Milwaukee transfer, Jermichael Stillwell. It's not a coincidence that you're seeing these rebounding numbers for him this season. He was 8th in the nation in rebounding, 5th in the nation in offensive rebounds per game.
Averaged a double-double a season ago at Milwaukee. This, the first double-double of his UCF career.
And I thought he was really good against Texas A&M. You may look at the box score and say, well, he only had 2 points. Yeah, but he had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 28 minutes of play.
There's so many different ways in which Stillwell can impact the game. Isaac Garrett around Bowl. Bowl blocked the shot and then a late foul call. It's the 3rd foul on Bowl. See that Johnny Dawkins has ditched the jacket here to open the second half. Garrett, Oakland's leading scorer, coming into the game at 15.3. He's got 9 here tonight. And as Braylon told you in the first half, a large contingent here to cheer him on. Positioned right behind the Oakland bench.
Dad getting a little photo of the free throw. Got to check the form at home,
Hoping that he's able to stay out there. Saddled with foul trouble in the first half. Picked up 2 early ones and then the 3rd on a technical foul. Stays straight up there, but Devin Cambridge able to muscle it through him for a bucket.
Cambridge just has that maturity about his game, efficiency, right place at the right time.
Navalorua spinning, Stillwell altered that shot. Navalorua thought he was fouled. Folks looking to push. No one stopped the ball, and he gets a friendly bounce.
This has been a good game for Folks. He hits that bucket there, but 7 points, yes. 7 assists, only 1 turnover.
Robinson. Pull-up jumper by Mashur ends the UCF run. Oakland had gone more than 3 minutes without a field goal. UCF has made its last 6 from the field. Stillwell shuffled his feet. And that taken the history of college basketball, at least in the opinion of this broadcast crew. And even though the band is not here tonight, Aiden has returned. And if you didn't hear it in the first segment of the second half, he is making his presence felt just as he did against Florida A&M.
He's doing it right now, and it is jarring. If you ever seen Jim Carrey in the movie Dumb and Dumber, when he says, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Aiden is doing that to perfection in the stands.
Garrett with the bucket for Oakland. UCF turns it over. Knights had built their largest lead of the game. Neva Larua called for the offensive foul.
Chris Parker is well in position in front of the restricted circle to take that charge. Nicely executed by the transfer from Villanova.
Parker had good minutes in the first half, scored 6 points. Puts it on the deck. Kugel a corner three. His first of the second half. Now 8 points for Riley Kugel, surpassed 1,000 earlier tonight.
And again, it's Devin Cambridge just making the right play. Here we go. I mean, this is aggressively jarring. This might be when the arms are folded. That's when you know you mean business.
Your comp of Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber is so good. It's right on point.
Thank you.
I mean, I know you're a basketball analyst. Occasionally you'll make keen basketball observations, but that's as astute as it gets from you.
Well, you know, every once in a while you get something right in life, and if this is the only thing I get right in life, I'll be good.
Yep. Sign off. You've reached your peak here.
I just don't know how Aiden and his vocal cords have survived the last couple days.
Well, fortunately, he's had a lot of time to recover since last week.
He drinks a lot of honey.
2 free throws by Brody Robinson. Back to a 10-point game. Kugel left open. Can't imagine Oakland is comfortable giving up that kind of look.
Well, Oakland's defense is disjointed. In the last 4 minutes, it has not been what we saw in the first half. UCF is virtually getting any kind of open look they want. UCF defended that Spain action really well.
Mashur puts it on the deck and dribbles it off his foot out of bounds.
And if I'm Oakland, if I'm Brody Robinson, there's only one player on the floor that I'm looking for, and that's White. Brett White, he's hit 5 threes in the first half. He's hot, he's the leading scorer. He's got to be the focal point of who I'm looking for to get shots.
White has not attempted a shot so far in the second half. Kugel cutting, Cambridge found him, and the foul.
There's a good duo there with Devin Cambridge, who never forces anything, is patient, playing off of 2 feet with good balance. An excellent off-ball cut by Riley Kugel. Defender's back turned, quick cut, nice find by Cambridge.
Kugel unable to cash in. Cambridge gets in there, out of bounds. It will stay with UCF. I thought Cambridge was the last to touch it. Greg Campy considering a review.
Point guard Brody Robinson was pleading to the bench to review that.
And they will. So new rule in college basketball this season. This is a coach's challenge. You have to have a timeout in order to challenge a play.
Being challenged by Oakland.
So the officials will now go to the monitor. They'll look at it. If Oakland wins the challenge, they keep their timeout, and they get a second challenge. If they lose the challenge, Oakland will be down to 1 timeout.
And you've only got 2 total challenges for the game. It's not as if you just keep getting a challenge every time you win. So it looked to me live that was going to be out on Cambridge.
I agree.
And that goes through the legs of Garrett. It doesn't look like it hits his left foot. Watch Cambridge's left arm push the ball through.
And as you look at this and the officials look at this, there was an extended amount of time that the officials looked at each other before making a call. So clearly some indecision about which way it should go. And from our look so far, this is going to be a successful challenge by Greg Campy.
Let's look at this angle again. Watch the left arm of Cambridge.
After review, the challenge, it is successful. Overturned Oakland ball.
Yep, that's the right call. It's good eyes by Brody Robinson, who was pleading to the bench to review that because he saw it. That's a lot of trust in your point guard.
And you get that wrong and you're down to 1 timeout. So Kip Kissinger with the announcement there. Ball will go over to Oakland. And the Knights will jump into some full court pressure. Zaire Wells, with 2 in black, has been quiet tonight. 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field.
You want to know who's not quiet right now?
Aiden's not quiet. Aiden's never quiet.
I mean, that's incredible.
Robinson, the outstretched arm of Kugel altered that shot. Oakland struggling to generate good looks. Kugel right to the front of the rim, couldn't finish. Parker there to clean it up, and he'll have a chance for 3.
There is a lot to like from Chris Parker in the last game and a half here. Against Texas A&M, came off the bench, had 9 points in 16 minutes. Super efficient and gave UCF a huge lift off the bench. And then when things were a little stagnant, he made a couple good plays in the first half. Already 8 points for Chris Parker.
Cambridge had a chance at that offensive rebound. Wells ends up with it. With that zone defense that Oakland plays, you're always a little concerned about offensive rebounding. It was a big problem when Oakland played Houston last time out as Robinson knocks down a 3. UCF has 14 offensive rebounds in this game.
Oh, he dropped him.
Pacheco got Robinson to fly by and buried the 3. Second 3 for Pacheco. He's got 8. This is the largest lead for UCF as Folks reaches in. That takes us to a timeout. Brody Robinson towing the line. Terrific shooter. But at the other end, Carmelo Pacheco with the answer for UCF. And the Knights have their largest lead. (67-53), UCF leading. Outscored Oakland by 10 points so far in the second half. Good setup by Robinson. Garrett unable to finish, but he stays with it.
We lost a shoe.
Chris Parker going to put that back on. Isaac Garrett's family cheering him on. He's now got 14 points, 5 of 7 from the field, and has yet to pick up a 4th foul in this second half. Kugel, terrific spin move. Score it, and the foul.
He is one of the rare players in college basketball that have elite rhythm and strength. He can glide when he needs to. He can bump defenders off when he needs to. Most players have one or the other, and Riley Kugel emphatically has both. And we've seen that consistently throughout the course of the start of this season. It's really the perfect system. Johnny Dawkins' system is the perfect system for Riley Kugel.
13 now for Kugel. He settled into a nice offensive rhythm after picking up that technical foul in the first half.
Nice pass. Wow, nice pass.
Mashur underneath to Isaac Garrett as we spend a moment with Braylon.
Yes, thank you guys. Riley had quite the basketball journey. His hometown being in Orlando, then he spent 2 years at the University of Florida and then transferred to Mississippi State. And now is back home for his senior season. He told me one of the best parts of being back home is having his mom, dad, and a whole group of friends in the stands at every single game. It's a full circle journey for Riley. And how valuable do y'all think that kind of stability is in the senior season?
Well, I think it's always special when you have the opportunity to play in front of your family. I can think, when I transferred to UCF, knowing that my parents, my friends, aunts, uncles, grandparents could come to games, I mean, those memories stay with you forever. It's always special when you have your family in the stands, and the fact that, that he's a local kid and it's an easy drive for the family. It's going to be a year that he'll remember forever. There's no question about it.
Kugel, a standout at Dr. Phillips High School on the west side of Orlando.
Nice pump fake.
Couldn't pay it off. Garrett on the backside with the rebound. Another look for Neve. And now another chance, and Naval Arua able to put it home, and he'll go to the line.
This is the smallest lineup for UCF, this roster. And right on cue, you've got Jeremy Fumena checking into the ball game, who's 6'11".
Naval Arua banks in the free throw. Preseason player of the year in the Horizon League with 7 points. Gets Oakland back to within 10.
That's a great save by Kugel.
And check foul on Brett White. Yeah, White was the standout of the first half for Oakland, had 16 points, 5 of 7 from 3. He's yet to attempt a shot here in the second half.
I can guarantee you his name was mentioned multiple times at halftime by the coaching staff. Cannot let him get any open looks in the second half. And UCF has done a great job of limiting his touches and rhythm looks.
Kugel, well behind the line, had a lot of space. Robinson with his head up looking to go for Oakland. Mashur, there's White, first shot attempt of the second half, and he cashes in with a 3.
I'll just stop talking for the next 5 minutes. Right? I should probably just stop talking. It's a great transition offense execution from Oakland. An extra pass, a good push by Brody Robinson. Got to find White. That's his 6th A3 of the game. Robinson gets the ball in the middle of the floor. One-time extra pass. Pure. This Oakland team is going to be a force in the Horizon between Naval Arua and Garrett in the front court. And then you've got Brody Robinson and Brett White. We haven't really talked about Zaire Wells as well. This is going to be a very good Horizon League team. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the Horizon League and you're filling out your bracket in March and Oakland's team comes up. And they're going to continue to get better because they're not even close to where Greg Campy wants them to be defensively in the zone. It takes a long time to learn his zone principles, but he feels by mid to early January, they're going to be in a really good place with their zone defense because they've continuously gotten better on their defensive principles in that zone.
And they're still playing without Michael Hogue, 6'7" transfer from Jacksonville State. who will bolster their front court significantly. Not available due to injury, got hurt right before the first exhibition game. He's close to being back ready to play, but not quite there yet, as Jeremy Fumena committed the loose ball foul for UCF.
Greg Campy said it's the deepest roster he's ever had in his 42 years at Oakland. And he's not one to just flippantly say something like that.
Oakland picked to finish second in the Horizon League preseason poll. Milwaukee was the preseason pick to win the league, but always a competitive race.
Yeah.
And an unpredictable conference tournament. Kip Kissinger is over at the monitor. Did a quick check to make sure he had the right shooter at the line. Twice Isaac Garrett has stepped up and then stepped back from the line. Now he'll finally have a chance to shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. UCF has led by as many as 15 in this second half. Right now the margin is 6. Garrett converts both. He's up to 17 points. A lot for that cheering section to be excited about.
The slower tempo benefits Oakland. When UCF is out and running, that's when they're at their best and most dangerous.
Folks lost it, defended well by Mashur, and a chance for the Golden Grizzlies to get within one possession.
White's open.
Lets it fly. Can't hit this time.
Wow.
Tipped in by Neva Larua. Down to a 3-point game with 8.5 to go. White with a deflection and a steal. Robinson pushing the pace off the glass. It's good, and he'll have a chance to tie the game at the line.
This Oakland team is unafraid. They've played both #1 teams in the country to start the season, Purdue and Houston, and also had to play Michigan, who is a top 25 team as well. They understand the moment and what it takes against big-time competition, and they are rising to that level tonight.
This is a 15-0 Oakland run to tie the game at 70. Kugel sidesteps Neva Larua and hits a much-needed 3 for UCF.
One of the smoothest off-the-bounce players in college basketball, and boy, did UCF need that bucket.
Stillwell harassing Neva Larua. Robinson trying to bounce it inside. They'll get Fumena with the foul. It's going to be his 4th. And it takes us to a timeout on the floor.
Back home, he was suspended from rugby practice in high school for not paying his fees and ended up in a room with all the other suspended players. When he walked out, the basketball coach noticed his height and told him that he should give basketball a try. He then joined the team mid-season and fell in love with it. And after 11 years of rugby, he made the switch. Austin and Mike, would you have guessed that he only picked up basketball a few years ago?
No way.
Definitely doesn't seem that way.
Horizon preseason player of the year. That's a great story, Braylon. And I can guarantee you one thing, though, that Austin Lyon is emphatically not tough enough to play Australian rugby.
You haven't seen me in a scrum.
You've never been in a scrum.
Oh, I've been in plenty of scrums, to tell you. Bemis Folks right up through the chest of Isaac Garrett. Couldn't get it to go. White collects it on the baseline, and Oakland will have a chance to take the lead. Neva Larua, by the way, 9 points tonight. He's been in double figures in 18 straight games. Needs one more to get there. On the deck around Bowl. He's got it. And Oakland has the lead by a point with under 7 minutes to go.
Another good example of playing off of 2 feet. It evens out the athleticism when you play off of 2 feet. Nicely done by Neva Larua.
Burks in the corner. Answers with a three.
Second three of the game for Burks, who's shooting a blistering 61% from the three-point line.
Robinson in heavy traffic. Naval will try a three, not the strength of his game. UCF on the run. Fulks able to finish with a left hand around Mashore.
Travis. It was a chaotic couple possessions, and that's a wide open look for Jordan Burks. The Oakland bench was furious that Burks got that wide open, and this is where he's great. Fulks pushing in transition, eyes up, gets it to the middle of the floor. Tough finish with the left hand.
Five in a row by UCF after Oakland took the lead. Stillwell on the deck. Man. Turning and scoring right around Marshall.
Just in a zone. In that mid-range right now, Stillwell is in a zone.
Team high 18 for Jamichael Stillwell. Robinson, little hesitation. Burks came over to block the shot. Scramble for it along the sideline. Naval Arua ends up with it. Robinson has it stolen away by Burks. Stillwell, kick out. Burks tees it up. That would have been a big three if Burks could connect.
Feels like both teams are looking for that TV timeout coming up here soon.
White back to Robinson. He'll elevate and rattle it home. Brody Robinson with a big one. Kugel surveys. Burks downhill. And out of bounds to Oakland. Greg Campy's squad trailed by as many as 15 in this second half. Fought back to take a brief lead. And right now they trail by 2. White with a hand in his face. They heat check. 2 UCF players come together. Bowl and Fulks, and it's out of bounds to Oakland.
It's a good contest by Kugel. Tough miscommunication there. John Bowl coming from the weak side.
Under 4 minutes remaining. Oakland can tie or take the lead with a 3. Robinson had his pass deflected. White was open up top. Shot clock running down. Robinson with a heave. It's an air ball, and that takes us to the under 4 timeout. 3:44 remaining in the game. Oakland with 9 made threes tonight, most recently from Brody Robinson, senior point guard, keeping the Golden Grizzlies right there with UCF. Had struggled shooting the ball in the first 4 games of the year, 29% from 3, but 3 for 4 tonight. Kugel bounce pass Stillwell. Fulks did well just to keep it in bounds, but his foot hit the sideline. 10th turnover of the night for Johnny Dawkins' team. And once again, Oakland can tie or take the lead with a 3. Up top, White got a clean look. Off the side of the rim, Kugel boards it for UCF. White's missed his last 3 from 3-point range. Bull wants it wide open in the lane, and he powers it through.
A total defensive breakdown in that zone for Oakland. Everybody was ball watching.
Garrett sizing up Bull. 8 on the shot clock. Garrett right up into him, and he draws a foul. Fourth foul on Bull, and 2 free throws for Garrett, who hasn't missed tonight. He's 8 of 8 at the line.
He also hasn't had a foul in the second half after picking up 3 fouls in that first half, including that technical. A really nice job by Garrett of playing hard without fouling. Not an easy thing to do on the road.
First missed free throw of the night for Garrett. Also the first miss of the half for Oakland. They were 11 for 11, and UCF comes down and turns it over.
One of the best things that Oakland can do is continue to attack the rim and draw fouls. You stop the clock, and they're shooting great from the free throw line. 21 of 24 tonight.
White, push off on Folks, no call, and White cans the jumper to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, that easily could have been and should have been an offensive foul on White. It's a tough mid-range jumper. Really good executed half-court set. That opposite pin down, that's an extended arm. I think Folks should have sold it a little bit more. It's not his fault, but that clearly should have been an offensive foul on White.
21 points now for Brett White, the 27-year-old, second oldest player in Division I. Started his college eligibility 4 years after he finished high school. His first season as a Division I player, and it's a coming out party. 21 points.
Brett White has been electric tonight, shooting the 3. Went a little cold in the second half, but then his ability to find that mid-range jumper, tough, big-time execution. Everybody was looking at Garrett, coming off that little get action with Garrett and Brody Robinson, and they ran the pin down on the opposite side.
UCF the lead and the ball as we come up on 90 seconds remaining in the game. Folks finds Stillwell. Stillwell working on Garrett, and a foul on the floor. That's the 7th team foul against Oakland. So it'll be a 1-and-1 for Jamichael Stillwell, a 71% free throw shooter so far this season. In and out of bounds to Oakland. That was also the 4th foul on Isaac Garrett. Oakland continues to go offense, defense. Marshall in there on defense. Brett White coming in on offense.
This is where you look for Burks or Stillwell to make a big defensive play for UCF.
Garrett one-on-one with Bowl. Spins to the baseline. Naval Aurora with a tip, no. Another chance by Garrett. UCF finally comes away with it as we go under a minute to play.
You're playing this possession out if you're Oakland. Here comes, should be some ball screen action here with Folks. Or he's just gonna go ISO. 1-4 low, one-on-one.
Folks, mid-range jumper, no. Stillwell the rebound, and he is fouled. It's on Mashore. Another 1-and-1 for Jamichael Stillwell. He just missed the front end in his last opportunity. Friendly bounce to make it a 2-point game and one more for Jamichael Stillwell.
Depending if the shot goes in or not for Oakland is depending on what you're going to run offensively. They've got one timeout left.
UCF burns a timeout. 2 massive free throws by Stillwell. And it's a one-possession game with 37.8 to go.
So where Oakland is dangerous is you've got 2 guys that are shooting the 3 really well tonight. When you got White and Robinson combined for 9 made threes tonight. So you've got 2 elite 3-point shooters on the floor at the same time. A lot of times what Coach Campy will do is if he's got a good passing big, is he'll go to their post, particularly Garrett, who he considers an elite passer, and use the post as a passing hub around the block area, where it looks like it's just one-on-one action, but you've got so much movement on the opposite side, and it's hard to guard that because you feel like you never want to have your back to the ball, but the ball is so low. If you've got a good passing big, it's a good option to use offensively. This is smart, too, here for UCF, doing a little token full-court pressure.
Krugel guards Robinson. Garrett's got it at the free throw line. He'll attack on Stillwell, throws it down. 1-point game and a timeout taken by Greg Campy.
They tried to get the 3. They ran the exact same play where White was open initially on a couple of possessions before, where you had Garrett as the passer. He was the passing hub at that foul line extended, and they ran a pin down for White on the opposite side of the floor, but it was defended really well by UCF. So Garrett has the presence of mind to say, let's not waste time. The first look isn't there, the second look is one-on-one, and a tough spin and finish for Garrett. Still plenty of time on the clock, 23 seconds left. Conversely for UCF, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a full court press. And if I'm UCF, I know that I've got to try to stay away from the deep corners. If you catch in the deep corner, it gives Oakland an opportunity to go for a trap without having to foul right away. Oakland will try to play this out for a little bit before they want to foul.
Any foul committed by Oakland would create a 1-and-1. UCF with excellent free throw shooters on the floor. Pacheco, Folks is 90%, Kugel at 83%. Those are the guys who you'd want to touch it. Stillwell, the only guy on the floor who shoots free throws at below 80%, and he just made 2 free throws.
And just remember that Coach Campy went offense, defense here because Garrett is out with those 4 fouls.
Kugel gets it into Folks. Kugel turns it over, but Mashore stepped on the sideline. And now a discussion about whether he possessed the ball. That'll determine whether the 10-second backcourt count resets.
Yes, yes. Was his foot on the line before he caught it? And it's a bobble too. He bobbles it. Yeah.
So 3.6 seconds is what UCF has to get the ball across midcourt. Johnny Dawkins will call a timeout.
Make sure they would want to foul Stillwell, who's just over 50% from the free throw line this season.
A hold away from the ball, and it will be Folks that walks to the line. And UCF fans should love that. Folks is 90% on the season.
Yeah, Folks actually grabs Mashore's arm there. That was just a really smart play. You can't see everything. We have the benefit of replay immediately, but that is such a heady, smart play by Folks.
Oakland brings Garrett and White back in. Oakland is out of timeouts. So regardless of the situation, the Golden Grizzlies will have to go make or miss here for Folks. It's a 1-and-1. One more for the UCF point guard. Still a one-possession game, 16.9 to go. Oakland again is out of timeouts. Robinson is fouled by Kugel. Not what Johnny Dawkins wanted. 2 free throws for Oakland, and the clock stopped at 12.9.
And you're fouling an 89% free throw shooter, and that was Robinson selling it really, really well. You stop the clock, you get a good free throw shooter on the line, and you get to set up multiple defensive possessions.
Robinson unable to hit the first. Now 8 of 10 tonight. And he cans the second. 2-point game, 12.9 seconds to go. Into Stillwell, they tried to foul him and couldn't. Kugel, right in front of the Oakland bench, is grabbed with 9.5 seconds to go.
And Robinson is clearly frustrated, but I've been in that situation. You have to have a short memory, quick memory. You got to forget that you missed that free throw, and you got to start thinking about and talking about setting up your team, what you're going to do offensively.
2 shots for Kugel, double bonus for UCF. How about the presence of mind by Stillwell? Caught it and then immediately found Kugel.
He has had an extraordinary game tonight. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and then that heady play of getting it to Kugel immediately.
One more for Kugel. This would make it a 2-possession game. UCF has made 6 in a row at the line. Robinson runs it up. Mashore heaves it for 3 off the back rim. One more chance, doesn't matter. Oakland fights.